Okay, modelers, so today we're looking at our 72nd scale F15C. Now this is a fairly new one from Academy. This is a special edition one, a California version. And this one here, I got this off my mate that owns the local shop that I was saying about in a few other of my videos, Scale Autos. His name's Shane, and I've got his card here. I'll hold this up to the camera like I've done in other videos. Hopefully this will focus and you can read it. Get it to focus. There we go. And you should be able to get all the information off that. But I'll put the information down below in the link anyway. I've got this kit here. He's got these, what he does, he buys them on special from the suppliers. We got this one here for $30. Well, I think it was $28 or something he's got on the shelf for. So he's really looking after us local modelers. Now he does do mail order and he has got PayPal. So if you want to get these kits, just give the guy a bell. Obviously, if you're in Australia, it's probably the best way. But if you're overseas, it's going to cost too much to ship it. But any of you guys here in Australia that build these kits, honestly, there's an absolute bargain. He done a little bit of a special deal for me. He cut that price down mainly because, like, I sort of shop with him quite a bit. And he does really look after us modelers. He's a really nice bloke to deal with. But I'm really glad I got this kit. It was one of them ones I've actually looked at online and thought, yeah, I really want to get my hands on one of these, so really happy with it. The box art, I just love the new Academy box art that they're doing with these things, where they're actually putting some really nice photographs and stuff on the covers, and the box art on this, and even their box designs, the new designs, looks so much more modern than their older stuff. Really happy with the box art on this. It's beautiful. It's one of them ones I'm going to cut the box art out and keep that. I do that with a lot of my kits. If I really like the box art, I actually take that cover off and I keep that. On the side here, we've got the different versions that you can build with the colours on there. And I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet. It's something I'm sort of going to decide as I go through the build. I'll have a bit more of a look of it. This one here, I want to build it up fairly soon, guys. I really want to get this one done. It's something that I'm really looking forward to doing. You've got your paint index there as well with your colour call-outs. So that's actually a good idea, having those on the box as well. A little bit of information, the different languages, which is all good as well. But like I say, because it's a fairly new kit, what I'm planning to do for you guys is do some newer stuff, and when I get it, I'll build them up pretty much straight away, because I do some older stuff. As you see, I've got a big collection of kits and like a lot of old stuff that I do as well, but I'm sort of missing out on doing the newer stuff. And I know a lot of you guys really love the 72nd scale, or even some of the 48 scale stuff with the more modern jet fighters. So I'll try and get a few more of those out to you guys, and now I've got a bit more time on my hands, I'll be able to pump a few more out. But anyway guys, we'll start going through the box here and have a bit of a look, see what we got inside. And the first thing we got is our instructions here, and on the front here we've got our colour call-outs again with our numbers. So you've got your Humbrol, Mr. Colour stuff, you got your life colours, Revel, Testers, Volatile. There's no Tamiya there, which, I mean, that happens with quite a few kits these days. They don't have Tamiya colour call-outs, but you can always reference those online anyway, guys, and find out what colours you need if you're using Tamiya stuff, which I use quite a bit of Tamiya. Okay, the first one here, we've got our panels going together for our cockpit, and it looks like it's decals that are going on to make our instrument panels. We'll have a look at the parts as we go through, but I don't expect them to be actually moulded into the parts. So I think they're just going to be flat with decals going on there, because 72nd scale, a lot of kits, especially at the prices you're getting this at, you don't really expect that sort of detail. So it's pretty simple putting that together. Then it goes into the bottom part of our fuselage there. Then it looks like the internals for our jets going in there. Then the bottom's our wings going over, and that's, yeah, they've got the weapon pods going on. I'd probably actually put those on a bit later, because they're one of those things you can actually knock off as you're going around and building other stuff. You can knock those off, so I'd probably leave those to a bit later in the build. But it's one of the things about going through the instructions straight up, guys, so you know what you know, I'll probably mark that in red pen to let me know that they're left off, they have to be put on later on. It's one of the things going through instructions, working out your build process as you go through. And then we've got our seat going together here. Then we've got the top part of our wings going onto the bottom part of the fuselage. We've got all our little details going on the outside here. Now these, again, I will probably leave these off till way later in the build, because I don't want to be knocking stuff like that off. When you're starting to put these things together and you're always playing with it, and especially you've got a lot more stuff to put on there yet. Handling it, there's just too much of a risk knocking those off, so I'll put those on later. Here we've got, looks like you can cut off these parts here and they're replacement parts that go on. Got our exhaust systems going on for our jets here, our burners and that. Tail wings going on. Now looking at this, it looks like it's got the circle build, so you can actually move those backwards and forwards, so you can have them, you know, adjusted to angles, but I'll probably have them just sitting nice and square and flat. Intake covers going over here, the front of our intakes going together. This has always been a thing with the F-15s, is putting these intake covers on. Most kits, well, the ones that I've built, they never seem to line up properly, and they just never go into place like they're supposed to, and there's always a lot of filling and sanding going around, so it's going to be interesting to see how good these go on. We've got our nose going on there. Now it has got the shape of the nose, so it's got upper and lower telling you which way that goes on there. Don't get that wrong, because otherwise you're going to have like a nose that's pointing up or pointing square, which is not supposed to be. Then our landing gear, nose landing looks like it's done in 3 parts. The tail landing, both of these, 2 parts, so that's nice and simple. And you've got 2 places where it sits down into the fuselage there to hang on to those landing bays. And we'll have to see just how strong they are. 2 parts, because normally you have like another arm that sort of braces them, but it doesn't show that in there, so we'll have to see how they go. Got our tail hook going on there. Next page. This is where we're starting to do our weapons, our launchers and things like that. So again, I dare say you'll have options, guys, like you'll be able to work out, look at some photos, a bit of reference material online. I love the internet these days. You can just jump on the internet and find out a bit of information, whereas years ago you had to own some books or some reference material. These days you can just jump online, there's so much information out there. So it'll be up to you guys how you want to do that. Our canopy here, so you've got the base of our canopy going on there as well. Next we've got, okay, so this goes over to our decal call-outs now. Now this is the common data page, which goes on all the builds, and then we've got the one for the different, the separate, you know, separate types. And like I say, I'm going to sort of have to decide before I build it which one I want to go with, but yeah, I'll choose that a little bit later as I get to the stage where I want to build it. But I mean, I love all these. I'd love to be able to build all 4 of them, to be honest. They're just beautiful. And on the back page here, you've got your sprue call-outs, which you can see there's not a lot of sprues in this. It's fairly basic. But 72nd scale, you sort of expect that. Here we've got our decals, and they look really nice and fine. Some beautiful, nice, fine decals in there, guys. I can see there, if there is a lip around, if they are raised, it's only very slightly bit. I can see the edges of them. But if you put them on with a bit of future and a bit of setting solution, they should be fine. But some really nice detail in some of this, really nice. The eagles, the screaming eagles on the back, absolutely beautiful. I love those things. They're so wicked looking. So you got the 2 different versions there, obviously. Very nice. I'm just looking at some of the, trying to look at the clear parts around them. There's some like down here. These obviously go on in a big strip, and you can see a big clear part. But we'll see how they go on when we actually put it together. And okay, so we'll start having a look at the parts now. And I'm looking at the engraving is quite nice. Actually, it's not overdone. Well, it's very representative of the newer kits. It's not overdone. They're not big, deep trenches stuck into it. The cockpit floor is very basic, but you expect that. You're really not going to see any of that down in there. Once the canopy goes over it, you're not going to see much of the floor at all. The foot pedals, most 72nd scale, that's all your foot pedals are. There's 2 little lumps coming out of there. But that's fine. But yeah, just looking at the engraving, really nice. There's no, I can't see any flash on there. Injector pin marks, well, they're all on the insides and places where they're not going to be seen, which is really nice. Even the engraving here, the rivet detail around these is just absolutely beautiful, guys. Really fine. Our rails here for launches, again, some really nice engraving on there. Very happy with that sprue so far. Okay, we'll get into the big stuff here now, and I won't worry about taking this out of the bag. Well, actually, what I might actually open that bag, because it's got 3 sprues in the one bag, so I'll quickly open it up for you. Have a look at that clear part, gives us a bit more of it. And that's beautiful. I can see that even just through that plastic bag. Beautiful crystal clear. canopies on there, very, very nice, guys. And you've got your canopy frame going over the middle there, very nice. Around the bottom, I can't see much of an engraving around there, but that's fine. Just absolutely beautiful. Just surprised how clear that is. It's just absolutely beautiful. And we'll get another one of these sprues out of here. Seem like they're a little bit stuck together. Okay, so here's the bottom half of our fuselage. Again, the engraving on there is absolutely superb, just beautiful. I mean, if you're trying to compare it like to the 1-to-1 scale, you're always going to say, oh, it's overdone, because in this scale you'd barely even see it to be that fine. But to make it stand out as a model, you got to make the panel lines pop to make it look realistic as a model. So, and they're definitely not overdone. Just looking at the curvature around the bottom of the tails here, there's actually a little bit of I don't know if it's writing or rivet details. Really, oh, it is writing. It's raised. It's so fine. So you have to be careful if you're going to sand that, guys, because that will disappear. A couple of rubs, that'll be gone with sandpaper. So just be aware of that. That's very fine detail, and it's stuff that will make or break something if you're after a really nice finish. Stuff like that would really stand out. And nose here, obviously the nose is sort of laid down. Actually, they've moulded it like that. I thought it might have been broken, but it's not. They've actually moulded it laying down, so you haven't got a pointy nose sticking up out of the plastic. It's a great idea. The seat's got some nice detail in it. I'm just looking at seam lines. They're all in the right places. We're not going to disturb you too much as a building process. Injector pin marks are all in places where you're just not going to see them. Exhaust systems are nice. These guys here may be a problem. They're very fine, and you haven't got much. You won't be able to get snippers in there. You have to use a sharp knife to take them off. So just be careful when you're doing that, guys, because they're very fine, and they're just attached very close to the sprues. So it's something you're going to have to be aware of. Looks like our nozzles actually have got like shapes on there, so they fit in like a Lego block, so you don't get them in the wrong position. Another great little idea. We'll take out our last sprue now, guys, and have a quick look. See what we've got going on here. And this is the top part of the wing, and I've got to say, that's really impressive. Just absolutely beautiful. All the details on there that you want. Really finely engraved. Very nice. That looks really nice. Looking at our intakes, again, same thing. The engraving's pretty much standard over the whole thing, guys. It's just really nice and fine. I can see these two intakes here, and looking at the engraving on those, they seem to be a little bit heavier on one than the other. It might be just a light that I'm looking in, but it's still, again, even that one there, it looks they might be just a bit deeper. They're not wider, they're just deeper. But you know, a lot of these things too, remember, you don't want them too fine, because what happens if you put like an undercoat on there, then your base colour, and then you weather it up, if they're really fine, they'll disappear on you, so you don't want that. And here's all the little fine parts that go on. Like I say, they'll go on there last. I don't want to put those on and handle a model and knock them off. But I'm really impressed with how nice that looks, guys. Just some beautiful detail engraved into that. Very nice. But as you can see, just for those few sprues that are in there, it's a fairly basic build. It's a 72nd scale, so you don't expect it to be too overly engineered. So it looks like it's going to be a really nice, quick, fun build to do this one. And we're going to have to wait till we put it together to see if there's any fit issues. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Like I say, it's a bit of a newer kit, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, guys, that's about it. That's everything out of the bags now. I can't sort of say much more about it. That's about it. There's other bits of paper in there, just little advertising things for tools and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, looking forward to doing this one. Like I say, I'm going to try and get this one done fairly quick and fairly soon. And I'll definitely be putting the build up on YouTube for you guys to have a look at. But like always, guys, make sure you sub down below. If you haven't subbed, leave comments down there. Give my mate a call or send him an email. If you're interested in these kits, I'm sure he can get hold of some for you if you're in Australia. Like I say, he does PayPal and all that sort of thing, and he'll really look after you. He's a nice guy to deal with. Really looks after us modelers, because he's a modeler himself, so he knows, you know, what the gig's all about. But anyway, guys, like always, check all my links out below for Patreon, for Facebook, all that sort of thing. And like I say, if you haven't subbed, make sure you sub, guys. Give me a thumbs up. And thanks for watching, as always, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.